Alright, welcome back. We are here. We never did the challenge for Plane of Innovation, by the way.
No. Did we want to?
We could. Because you said we're going to do the challenges and everything. Except for Torment, because no.
Yeah, that one doesn't like me.
It just glitches out and breaks on him. And I never can do it, so. Even when I have the barb cheat code, essentially, because barbs are broken.
Somehow not broken enough. That's our phone.
Remember I was reading you a comment thread the other day? Because we don't really have a whole lot in the way of comment threads.
Yeah.
Because, we're still pretty fresh, pretty new, and not, super duper popular.
Not really popular at all.
No.
You want to save?
Always remember to save often,
Apparently we played skip that for a second there.
Yeah. So I'm going to read a chunk of a comment thread. The commenter told me, this is the same person who was like, it's so easy to tell who's player 1 and who's player 2 from the way y'all shop.
Okay. This is a continuation?
Because, we continued talking and everything.
Okay.
So, because, Spain, I saw it. I'm so excited, I don't even remember what button is what. Where's the freaking spoon?
There it is.
I have a spoon!
She will now use it for the rest of the game.
I will not use it, I will just hold it, and it will take up the 2 pounds in my half a pound in my inventory.
Mm-hmm. I'm so... resistance, mana bonus, and intelligence bonus.
This joke weapon is very...
It's hilarious.
It's enjoyable.
She loves it.
I love this joke weapon. We also have those. Okay, cool. Vampire Fang.
Oh. I don't think we actually need those.
Well, I do.
Would you like to bring that?
No. That is absolute shit. But so, this commenter, I'm not going to call them out, but they are on the other series, actually. They posted on Champions of Norrath, the straight-up version.
Okay.
And they told me about what they think of the recording quality, because I remember how one of our first ever comments was, "This is trash."
Mm-hmm.
I still have that every time I open up the Creator Studio, because I never responded to it, and I'm not ignoring it. I just never responded to it.
No, because it wasn't really worth the response at the time.
No. So, and it really isn't still. But I get to look at, every time I open up my Creator Studio, I'm reminded just what absolute shit it is. So that's fun. But this person decided to tell me exactly what they thought, and they were much nicer about it.
Alright.
Rather than just saying it's shit, they actually gave me some reasons. I'll wait till this fight is over, though, before I make some...
No, you can go ahead.
Well, because I have to read something, which means I have to look away.
Yeah, we should probably get some killed in this game.
I know there will be an iCard. I'll probably throw an iCard in the top right if anyone wants to check out that video just to find the comment thread. And I'm not gonna call the person out because, equal treatment, man. Just keep it anonymous unless people really want to do some digging. If anyone cares,
Well, if they actually want to go through the comments and see, it's not that difficult to find.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to kind of pilot me for a hot second because I'm eating well. So this person said, the recording is impressive in this video, by the way. Another one I saw on your channel wasn't quite as good, but I actually wasn't sure you were just recording with a camera until I saw the other video. They said general statements. They didn't say which video they saw that proves it. But we did have that one where we showed them. It's like, hey, this is... Hi, just so you know again.
Yeah, we're using the camera.
Dad's over there. I'm over here. We're just using a camera.
This is purely a camera. So.
Yeah. Probably the best use of that I've ever seen, although the gamma issues, extreme peak brightness, this game always had is a little exacerbated. And besides, do you play any of these other games? Well, so here's the thing. When it comes to using the camera, let's go, because now I'm not reading anymore. When it comes to the use of the camera, the reason that I chose that, for your knowledge, is, I think, as I said, the longer, lengthier explanation that I did not provide this person is, we have a capture card from the other videos on the channel, you know? Like, we have a capture card, and we actually did get an AV to HDMI converter just so we could record this console. However, after the 360 died, I think we still have a little bit of post-traumatic stress. Because I don't know what caused it to die exactly, and I haven't taken it to a repair center or found someone to repair it. If anyone has any ideas of where I could even start looking to find reputable people who will do this for a decent price, like, I don't care. I just want my system back, honestly. Mm-hmm. I would love to hear it. Not that anyone's going to see this.
One, so that we could get the lovely disc that's in it out.
Yeah, and also, too, so we can play our fucking co-op games together. We should go the other way because that's the save point, which means there's an entrance that way. Mm-hmm. Not her. Because she's in a big room. I vaguely know this map. This map has static maps, unlike the other one, which had random generated. Like, it had randomized maps.
I think they're static, but random.
These ones are static. The other ones, they have set maps, obviously. They weren't creative enough to be, like, completely random map, but it's like...
Well, it was before you actually had enough computing power to randomly generate it. So
it's like a D&D dungeon. There's multiple ways that the map is designed. It's just which one did you happen to get when you got in there. Mm. That's what I mean by random generated. That's why they're not static and they change all the time. But they're not...
Some are shorter, some are longer.
But, like, if you play this game enough, you know all of them, for fuck's sake.
Not to mention if you have double parts.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, they make the maps short randomly. But anyway, where was I? ADHD.
Really, really short.
I don't have ADHD. I'm just very all over the place and chaotic. So, in terms of why I still prefer the camera with this, after the 360 died, I decided I didn't want to hook up a capture card to this system.
No.
Not unless it's A, permanent installment, or B, I'm willing to sacrifice this, / we get an emulator to run instead.
You're jumpy.
Yeah, I know. I have my shadow step on, I think, or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, I don't.
But so if we were to get, like, an emulator for these games, I would be willing to hook up a capture card to whatever computer holds the emulator.
The difference is that we probably have to have 2 with it on there.
Well, I don't know. I really seriously am, just for Let's Play purposes, would love to find an emulator. That way, if this PS2, much like the other one, took a shit, had a problem like the 360, we could just hop onto a different thing and we wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I'd still hate to see it go.
I know. I would too. Like, I cried when the last one died, but...
You did a lovely job for as long as it lasted.
Oh, yeah. But, like, what are you gonna do? That's just what happens.
It can only last so long.
Even when things are built to last, they still break.
Eventually. Need repairs.
Unless it's a Twinkie, in which case, like, that shit's like cockroaches. Those two things will survive the nuclear apocalypse.
Actually, it will survive past the cockroach.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's why the cockroaches live in it. I can live off this shit for years!
We love eating tiny helpings. Well, because it'll kill us eventually.
That's an accurate statement. But so that's why I'm using the camera, because this is all we have. And I still don't want to destroy the system by potentially hooking up something to it that could, in theory, kill it. Barring the fact that what happened in 360. Mm. I don't want to see it happen.
Especially not at this point.
So if anyone needs to shit some arrows or, like, pop out a skelly, because that's a thing that I just did. Die.
You need to drop that.
Yeah, I need to shed some poundage. But that's why.
I think we just need to give it a shot.
Like, that's why it's kind of a big deal that we use the camera.
I have some potions for you.
The gamma issues, I do try to resolve them in post. Yes, I will take those. I do try to resolve the gamma issues in post and try to, like, especially for things like Water's Edge or...
Especially the ice area.
Well, so the stupid fucking contrast between the brightness of Water's Edge and then teleporting back into dark places like this cave or the city of Cthulhu, I struggle.
It's better going from the ice area to anywhere.
Let's go. But I try to resolve those issues as best as I can in post, but, like, I don't want it to look like absolute garbage, but I do end up...
There's only so much you can do with it.
The camera... So the problem with the camera is not only does it exacerbate those gamma issues where all the brightness is, like, in your face, but the bigger problem is that sometimes, like, we have this really bright room that we're in because this is the living space. Mm-hmm. Or... my camera is constantly auto-adjusting for the ISO and I can't fix that. Like, that's just a default of what it's trying to do to compensate for all of its problems. For, like, all of the problems with what it's seeing. So when we're in a dark space like this and then it goes to a bright space, it gets kind of fucked. So that's what happens there that is kind of a big deal. You know? Like, I do try to adjust for it in post if I notice that it's a little extra problem-y, but similar to when you have too many highlights in a photo, or too much shadow... Wait. What's our weight at? I got, like, a shirt left. Mm. And you're full, so... Mm-hmm. Let's see what happens.
Okay. I'll give you a shirt.
Yeah.
Or it'll give you a shield and you won't be able to pick it up.
But so, the big thing is that even though... Similar to when you have a photo where the highlights just pick up pure white...
What are we missing? Oh, all the way back there.
So...
the one you told me not to go to yet.
Yeah. So similar to when you have a photo that is just pure highlights, like it's pure white, which I've heard actually is a good way to clean your sensor, because you can see all the dirt particles then, if there's any shadows or bits. So you can figure out where to clean your sensor, I should say. Or if you alternatively have too much darkness in your photo and it's all shadows, so it's pure black, the programs that are cleaning your photos, like Lightroom, cannot detect that there's an item in that thing because there's no data, because you basically just blinded your camera with highlights, or you don't have enough light to be able to tell there's an object in the darkness. Right? Mm. So sometimes when I'm trying to adjust the gamma, or I'm trying to adjust the offset? I don't honestly understand video editing as well as I understand video editing as well as I understand photo editing, but I do understand the concept is the same. If there's too much black or too much white, your camera can't tell you there's data in that area of the photo or the video, and so it just doesn't know what to do with that information, so it's doing its fucking best. In all honesty. Which is...
My conch! You found it! Oh, I think I like you, champion. And yes.
Yeah, okay. She wants.
She wants. At least we know we're desirable.
Okay,
yep. But so that's why, that's kind of why it's kind of fucked, you know? Mm. Like, the visuals, when there's peak brightness or peak darkness, because I can't resolve that, because the camera does not know that there's something there, because it's too bright or it's too dark. So when I'm adjusting, that's the problem. That's why you calling out that there's a gamma issue, I understand. I'm doing my best with what I've got. And yes, we do have a capture card and we have an AV to HDMI adjuster, but I don't...
We don't want to tempt fate.
I don't want to see what happened to the 360 happen worse with the PS2.
Especially since it is an actual PS2.
It took so much...
Just to get it.
Our enemies have invaded the plane of water. A great rainstorm threatens to flood the Pit of Ill Omen. You must find the stones of Norrath and fill the hollows from which the rain pours. Make haste, my champion, or all of Norrath will be lost.
Like, do we want to tell the sad story of how we came upon this item? Like, what happened? And how hard it was for us to get, which explains why we don't want to...
No, the fact that I had to find a place that actually sold it.
At the time that we broke this, like, PS2s were a thing of very much yesteryear.
They weren't coming back. It wasn't a...
Yesterdecade.
It wasn't a thing yet for people to try to get hold of them again. It was before that whole mess.
And it still isn't, really. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Trash?
Yep.
Now this, though.
Nice bastard.
Look at the numbers versus...
Yeah, it's too anyway.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, but spoon! I like my spoon.
You like this spoon?
I just need my frying pan to go with it.
I don't think I need almost 30 freaking potions.
Because I can dual wield as a barb if I ever get it. We're just gonna, you know?
I'll need 30 freaking potions.
But don't you?
No.
Okay.
Especially not for this late.
I'm gonna continue talking then, though. So, while Dad's gone for a minute, the whole... Oh, hey, that doesn't affect anything, thank God. He turned a light on nearby, and I was worried it might, fuck some shit up. So, the whole problem with us trying to get a PS2 in the first place, the old PS2 Slim that we had broke. Fun fact, a common issue with the skinny PS2, which was flat and more, easily able to be put on your shelves and everything, is that the top-down lid to open and close the disc slot was a flap that went up and down, and so it would just eventually wear out and stop reading over time. And so when you have that, the problem becomes eventually it won't read, and so you can't play the games anymore. We would set weights on top of it, we would stack disc boxes on top of it, just to try to get it to, read, and eventually it just didn't read anymore. And then on top of that, it was a double whammy. Not only was it not reading, but the disc inside, which was Dark Cloud, broke. The centerpiece just shattered into a bunch of little glass shards. I still have this relic in my room. It's very dead, and it makes me sad. But so, because we couldn't play any of our favorite games like this anymore, Dad decided to look for a PS2. Now, we have no money, and that's not just talking as a poor, broke family, but that is, he legitimately has zero access to money, and I wasn't making anything at the time, because I think I was still in high school. And so, with what little money Dad had, he barely had $50 to pay for it. He managed to find one in town at a game shop, the Toy Exchange, thank fuck. And the guy sold it to him for a little less than $50 because he's like, we don't need the controllers, we don't need the cords, we don't need anything, we just need the machine itself. And he's like, I'll give it to you for whatever the hell you've got on you, which was nearly $50 in coins found on the ground and tips from people at work. Mm-hmm. Dad has orange sherbet, which makes him happy. Can you turn the light off real quick there? Even though it's not really affecting anything. Because that also affects gamma, how much light is being perceived. And even though I do have a plunger on this camera, like, I could go over the specs of... But so, because of all of that, it took a painstaking... 10:04? No. No. Straight up no.
Sure?
Yes. I can do it tomorrow when I get out of work. Plus I shouldn't really be eating them anyway. And shit. Ran out of time.
Oh.
Well, I'll close out this conversation because we've stalled long enough.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the other part of that. Okay. So, essentially though, it was a pain in the ass for us to get this PS2 after years of there being no PS2s. We don't want to risk the biscuit of attaching things to it that could possibly kill it. That's all I'm going to say about that. So yes, I do know there's issues with using a camera. This is the best way that I can possibly think of to do this in the first place. I am sorry about the video quality in that sense, but we're doing our best.
With what we can safely do.
Yeah. This is for the safety of our sanity at this point, as well as the safety of the machines. I am thinking about getting more Nikon batteries, though, because that would be super helpful, not only for photo shoots, but also just for my camera.
That way, and your batteries that you do have are probably getting old, so...
Well, that would explain the strobe of the one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If anyone wants me to talk about the camera gear that I've been gifted over the years, because I do like doing art stuff and I like photography and everything. I could talk about the specs on this camera. The lens is a vintage 28mm, with a plunger attached to minimize the amount of exterior light entering the lens. We've got the D3400, and I'm using a crappy tripod that is very rickety and shitty to keep it still. Yeah. Hang on, Lee.
I was just going to do the challenge first.
Well, let's save that for a separate episode and actually do the outro. And then I will set a timer so that we can do the damn things correctly.
Instead of having to...
Instead of guesstimating and then wondering why it's not doing the thing. Oh, that's 19 hours, you dumbass.
No.
19 and a half hours. I think it's over. Okay. So yeah, subscribe if you guys want to. We don't really care if you do, but if you do, you get to see more content like this. And don't forget to ding dong the bell, you ding dongs.
Have a horribly wonderful day.
Okay. Now we wait 10 seconds or so, and I have my outro screen, and everything's good, and Dad's really enjoying that sherbet, and everything's great.